Hello friends, this is your host Sunny Bhatia. Today we are in day 8 and we'll be continuing our discussion on objects and collections. So let us start right away. Now, in the previous section we have seen created one report on ledger and we left at the calculation of the total of opening balance. So let me save this file as day 8 and so that we start our session. And we'll continue with objects and collections and we'll have some more concepts linked to it which we'll discuss in this session. So and in my tally also I do it. Now the things are set. So let us start. Now that day we saw that we can see a list of ledgers through TDL. This was my report and there were opening balances that I want to total. Now to total the opening balances, a attribute at the part level has to be defined that which fields need to be total. So here I say total. So the attribute at the part level is total and my field is this. So after the total I give the field. Similarly I can have multiple fields also with this. This is a multi-field attribute. And when I come to the total line, I have written here set as amount 100. Now I use a function total and here I give the name of the field from. So now you see at the bottom I am seeing the total coming. Now the main difference with this is that I am seeing the total at the last, but in the day book or other thing you see I always see the totals whatever are there at the bottom of the screen. So to do that, instead of defining this as a normal line, I define it as a bottom line. That means it will always remain at the bottom of the screen. So let us see the difference now. What difference does it make? Now you see on every point I am seeing the total. So now why it is coming as 3000 is. So there must be difference between debitors and creditors. That's why. Now we'll just do what. Now since this is printing debit and credit on the same column, I am not able to know whether it's a debit balance or it's a credit balance. Now to do that, I define now two fields at the bottom line as Sun DR opening balance and I introduce one more field as. So I have two columns now, but in tally in the ledger part I just have opening balance only. So how do I handle that part? So I check that if now this is new concept that is being introduced. Is DR is a function that if it is a debit amount, then so what I have field I have defined as debit amount first. So let me make that necessary change. DR opening balance if then opening balance else 0. Now let us understand this concept. Those familiar with programming must be knowing the if condition. Now in if, after if we put a condition. So in this case I am putting a condition that if this value is debit, then you print the opening balance. If it is credit, that means if it is not debit, it is a credit side, then you don't print it here. So let me copy it here and I say CR opening balance. So I just do is, if it is a debit side, then it is 0, and else it is. This is a small change that we make, and the opening and closing balances are changed. Now let me change some other things also. The totals need to be changed. I copy this and similarly in totals also I'll have two fields. So I have two fields here, and debit opening balance and credit opening balance. Let us see the difference now. What it can. Now you see I have debit as separate and credit as separate, and let me set the titles also. So now the titles are set, the totals are set, and the fields are set. So let us see the report now. Now it is saying debit amount, credit amount. So 5,000 is opening debit amount, and so we have what we have introduced today is if condition. First thing is total. Whenever you want to total any field, you can have it on the part level, and then at the end of the field you can write is a dollar total and the field name to get the total value. That is one part we have done. The second thing we have done today is that how to put a if condition. So my setters has a now a condition, that means setters cannot be a static. It is based on certain condition, and I can have it as, if it is debit side, then I print it. If it is on the other side, then I print it on the credit side. So two things we have done. Now in the previous section we have discussed something about local, and I have not explained what is the local means. The use we have seen that what use does, but what local does we have not seen. So local was introduced quite late in the Tally TDL functionality, and it is a very powerful thing that we can use. Now what local does is, let me explain this thing for you. In the title line, I have defined four fields. Two are right fields, two are left fields. By default, these are left fields. Now, the moment I say use tally line, that means all the four fields are existing in this. That means that all four things, if I do not give this, it will print me some value. But since right now it is not in the context of anything, it will not print it. So the exact, let me comment it and see the title I am commenting, and let us see that what happens at that point. So I have commented the line. Let us see what happens at this point. So you see that my titles are gone since they are not in any context. My repeat line is associated with this. At the top, there is it's associated with nothing. So the dollar name and dollar parent is not printing anything. So that is it. Now, when I say local field, that means I have inherited what is this, but for this line, that means for this line, this field should have this value. So, after inheriting, after getting all the properties, I am trying to change the behavior of certain fields. So, similarly, I change the behavior of all the fields, four fields, and set them, give them a new value. So, that is what the local does. We'll do that in detail later on when we see that how the local can be used. It can be used at any point of time. But right now, to understand it, let us is that I have inherited the same properties of the object of this line, and with a local field, that means which object local, since there's only a field in the line, so I'm changing the value. I can do anything. I can set the style. I can change the styling, change the font, change the border, whatever I have defined, I can change that with the local field. So that is the power that you can inherit and then change the whatever you want to change in that. So that is what the local does. That is a new concept I had introduced and not explained in the previous section. So now I am explaining it. That is what the local. So let us see the report again. So now let me remove the reloaded. So I am getting the headings again. Similarly, with at the bottom of the line, if you see, I have done the same thing. I have used that line and printed totals here, and as a set as I am changing the value of this to fields. So this is the power of local. You can inherit the line in the previous prior things. What we had to do was either we had to define new fields for totals and for titles, which has been avoided with this introduction of local attribute. This is very powerful attribute and used at many places. The second thing we used was name field. Now these are certain templates like name field, amount field, which have been defined in Tally, predefined and used again and again and again. So you can use them in your, they have specific formatting patterns which are there for the name field. Now there is one more powerful thing in DDL is that suppose I want to see how it is defined. You see the moment I'm taking my cursor over here, it is underlining, and with control if I click on that, the definition will come. So that means it has some width, it has some maximum width, its style is normal bold and its case is tight. So whenever I say a name field, so this is what I get. I get this width, and if I say it's a system formula, so it will be around 23. Maximum width will be 51, and it will be normal bold and case will be title case. So case we have not covered till now. Case is the title case. That means first character of each word will be capital. So let us see now what how this is happening. And now you see, let us go to the amount field. So this is what is about amount. There is a format that we'll have to discuss right now. Key, so many things are there. Type is amount. So the basic formatting principles of the field comes into place, and we can see. Now take an example. I am defining here. I am using my tally line here. Now I want to see how it is defined. I just have to control click it and it will move to the definition. Similarly, I click on sun parent, it moves to its definition. So it is a powerful tool in TDL that whatever definition you are in, you can go to the definition part like I say on sun object name. So my cursor moves to that part. So that is very convenient way of seeing what how the things are defined. So I talked about these are the few templates that you will come to know as we keep on moving ahead with our training, and also with the experience you come to know what are the templates that Tally has defined, and you will be able to use them again and again very conveniently. Now let us move to again the presentation part. So the collection acts as a bridge between the interface object and the data sources that we saw. This will cover in detail when we talk about on the voucher collection. I'll come later on because I'll explain you in detail the voucher collection and then how to access that. That will cover in one separate session. Right now, let us see what collection further has to offer us. So the collection capabilities, other capabilities are union, filtering, sorting, searching, and advanced capabilities are aggregation, extraction, usage of tables, usage as table, integration capabilities, dynamic object support, and capabilities for remote. So these are some of the collection capabilities. Let us first see what is union filtering, sorting. Union filtering, sorting, and searching we'll see right now, and union we'll see at the later stage. This is advanced. We'll cover in it in a separate section. Now, let us say I have this ledger collection, and I want to right now. If I see my report, you see I'm getting everything: sundry debtors, sundry creditors. Now I just want to see. That means I want to filter something. I want to see just debtors. So there are two ways of doing it. One is I say child of. This is one way of doing it. Since it has a parent, and so let us see what the beginning is only bringing me sundry debtors. So all other groups are gone. Now child of will only this will only show sundry debtors. Let us see the hierarchy. What hierarchy we have in this? I go to display list of account. Now, sundry debtors has no group, but I suppose sundry creditors is having. Now you see there are sundry creditors and there are further group is sector 38 creditors. So let us change it to sundry creditors now and see what impact does it make. So now I am seeing sundry creditors. So all the sundry creditors, but you see sundry creditors sector 38 creditors are not coming. It is only showing the sundry creditors. Now I want to see all the groups, all the ledgers which are under sector 38. Sorry, sundry creditors. That means I want to, I have subgrouped sundry creditors. All of the groups ledgers should come which fall under the parent sundry creditor. So in that case, there is attribute called belongs to. If I say belongs to, yes, that means when the object is whatever ledger is part of sundry creditor will come. Now, if I see this report, you see I am getting the sector 38. So this is about filtering. This way you can filter it, but a child of can only work on the parent part. Suppose I want to see, I want to have some other criteria that let me have something which is, you see I am having Dhanpat 3, 1, 2. 3 Dhanpat. Okay. So I want to see the ledgers. This is part of the searching also, and I want to see the ledgers which are having the names Dhanpat. So for that, there is another clause called filter. Now filter can be any complex filter. We'll see that just now. So let us say I name it as my filter, and it is a system formula. Whenever the it is a system formula and I say it as my filter. Now my dollar name and here is keyword is contains. So I have created my filter in which the dollar name contains Dhanpat. That means so only three ledgers have come who their name is Dhanpat. Now the second thing is I want to see all the Sunday debtors and all the Sunday creditors. Now in this case, my method for the group is parents is equal to I say Sunday. So filter again will do the same thing. I refresh this report, so all the Sunday debtors have come. And I can say here or dollar parent, it can be any complex formula. Sundry. Now this I could not have done with the child house. So I have Sunday creditors and Sunday creditors. Now you see what is happening now is the names are coming alphabetically. So I am having Sunday debtors. In between I am having a Sunday creditors. Now I want to set it at so far set it as group wise. So I use sort. This is how it is. So I want to sort first on dollar parent. So I'm just doing dollar parent right now. Now you see the Sunday creditors is coming first and then Sunday creditors. Now within the Sunday debtors and creditor, it is automatically sorted by name. But still, if you want it on name, have it on. So this is further sorted on name. Now I want to sort this for the name part. That means for the name, I want to sort this report in the descending order, while the parent will be in the ascending order, but name will be in the descending order. So I put it as minus. When I prefix it as a minus or a hyphen, the report is sorted in the descending order. So let us see the impact of this report now. Now you see this parent is coming Sunday creator, but here he is starting from Y. That means the names are sorted in the descending order. So this is how the sorting. So what we are just brief what we have covered till now. We have seen filtering part, how we can filter a collection. We'll be seeing the advanced cases later on also as we move ahead with the training. We have seen the sorting. We have done what if conditions we can have in the setters command. We have seen how to total the things about collections. That's all for today. We'll continue with objects and collections in the next session. Thank you.